Hey guys, we're back at Pocket Gamer Connects Helsinki. I am joined by Wilhelm Taht of Rovio. I vaguely heard the name before somewhere. I don't know.
Thank you.
What are you guys doing today?
We're here to connect and learn, basically. This is third time in Helsinki.
Third time here, yeah.
Pocket Gamer has come a long way in 10 years, I want to say. And connecting, learning, exploring new opportunities.
Yeah, well, we're all familiar with the extraordinary success of Angry Birds as a game, as a brand, and you've now taken the step into the movie world with quite good results, really. How was that?
Fantastic, amazing. It's been a really, really great experience. The movie, which I hope all of the viewers have seen by now, it opened #1 in 52 different countries. It's a worldwide top 10 movie this year. #3 all-time biggest imported animated movie in China.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it's #1 on iTunes now, but it was in the US, the digital release. #1 Blu-ray in the US, opening soon in Europe. And I could go on. It's really exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's really, really exhilarating.
So, I mean, it's not your first time with the moving picture, because you guys have been doing the cartoons and the Angry Birds TV for a while now. How does it differ in terms of scale? Because this must have been a multi-year project.
We've been working on the movie for 4 or 5 years.
Really?
So it was greenlit a long time ago by our CEO at the time, Mikael Hed, and David Maisel, who was actually the original founder of Marvel Studios.
Okay.
He was also the EP on Iron Man and Iron Man 2. So they were the ones that started the whole project, what feels eons ago, I think, at this stage. And I think that pretty much summarizes it. I mean, we've done short form animation, around about 2 minutes long, no dialogue. Production budget slightly less than the movie, and that's the difference. It's a huge team behind a movie like this, huge production, long production schedules for sure, and the end result really shows. It feels like the birds come alive and the whole world come alive in that movie.
Well, I mean, seem to have been very well received, as you described. Are we in talks for a sequel at the moment? Is it on the table?
Yeah. We announced that we are. Hang on. I think we announced that we are officially thinking about the sequel.
Right. Okay.
So I guess you can read into that.
Well, we could just read the box office returns, and then we can infer from there. I think that's how it goes.
It's been a humbling reception, to be honest.
Really. Well, I mean, it's not your first taste of success. Obviously, you've been doing a lot with the Angry Birds over the recent years. Tell me about the way you've kind of, to put it in a nonsense business speak, diversified the portfolio. But now there are lots of different Angry Birds games for different genres. Angry Birds Epic with the RPG, Angry Birds Go with the Racer. You've recently done a collaboration with the guys behind New Star Soccer, Angry Birds Goal. Is that right?
In soft launch still.
In soft launch at the moment. I mean, what are the challenges with trying to put the birds into all these different genres and trying them in different formats?
Well, one could say that we've taken birds where no bird has gone before, right? Haha.
From space onwards, yeah.
We did take the bird to the space station. That's true. We launched Angry Birds Space from space, and we've done a lot of crazy things over the years, and we plan to do crazy things in the future. So I think what we've come to realize is that Angry Birds as an IP is quite versatile. It does. There's not one thing that we have to do with from a game development or game product point of view. Our heritage is naturally in slingshot. That is, I guess that's the natural habitat of the birds, and a habitat that we consider very important for our future as well. In terms of what we're doing next, I mean, we have actually a few different Angry Birds games in soft launch at this moment.
Okay.
Now, I think standard industry practice just says that not all of them might end up in hard launch. That's just how this industry operates, and that applies to us as well. So that's not to say that we're not excited about them. We are, and we feel strongly about them for sure.
I mean, soft launch has become so prevalent recently. Even if it's just one territory or multiple territories, the way to get that feedback. And how, from a Rovio's perspective, how important is that? How much time do you commit to looking at the data that you get feedback from that?
Well, naturally, I mean, we have our own production processes that dictate how much we should give to each phase of a game development.
Yeah.
But that said, in soft launch, especially if you have a winner at hand, you ought to give it the time it deserves.
Right.
You don't want to rush into soft launch too early, in our opinion. But when you do, you should execute with passion, of course, during that time.
Okay.
But especially if you have something that you can see that there's really something here, you ought to polish it to the max, get it to the masses after that with a reasonable marketing push behind it, and if you're lucky, you also get some featuring throughout that time. But no longer, I guess. I mean, the industry has grown up quite a bit, has matured in terms of its business practice. So,
speaking of which, how have you found the transition from like premium to free to play? Obviously, it's happened to everybody. Everyone's had to make the adjustment, including you guys, Angry Birds 2, and so forth. So, what were the biggest challenges you came up against?
Well, the truth to be told is it was quite a lengthy transition for Rovio. We were a bit late. The in-app purchase as a technical feature, as a software feature, was introduced by Google and Apple in 2011. And our first free-to-play game came out in December, on mobile, came out in December 2013. Right. So there was a period in between there, which truth to be told, we didn't rush into it.
No.
And I think we could have been a bit quicker on that. At the same time, it's known that we were number one in premium, and as a result, the cultural shift is quite big, going from premium to free to play, and that translates into processes, into game design, into all things that build up game development. So it was a large shift for the company, and I think the overall shift was concluded in 2014-15, and now we are truly operating with a service live operations mindset across the games, and our like biggest games in the portfolio, they grow every month as a result of live operations, KPI focus, and user acquisition, which is where I want to say we're operating in truly the 2016s and beyond at the moment.
So speaking of the future, what are the big things for Rovio coming up? You've mentioned a potential Angry Birds sequel movies. What about the games? You got a few things in soft launch. Is there anything that you're working on behind closed doors right now?
We are, of course. We have a few Angry Birds games in soft launch, as I mentioned. Feel good about them all, and we'll see which games we end up publishing globally. Feel really good about them. Feel good about the new IPs we have in soft launch. We have a few tricks up our sleeve when it comes to new games still at the end of this year and early next year. We've put a lot of effort on our product strategy and vision end of last year, beginning of this year, and we're seeing soon the fruits of that labor come out, and we're really excited about those things. And we're really excited about the games that we have in the market and servicing the current fans we have in those games on the market. And those, especially in terms of the bigger games out there, is Angry Birds 2, Angry Birds Pop, Nibblers, and then kind of a historical favorite is Angry Birds Friends, a game that came out in 2012 and is still holding very strong and has a very active community around it, and just a huge fan base and very strong business around it as well.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing what you have up your sleeves for the future. Thanks for joining me today, man.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Cheers.